Scientists researching the treatment of multiple sclerosis say they've made a significant breakthrough. Results from a decade-long international trial have shown a stem cell transplant can halt the disease and improve symptoms.
Doctors in Sheffield who were part of the study say it's a game changer for many patients. Our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh has this report.
This was Louise Willits in 2015, undergoing her stem cell transplant in Sheffield. The treatment involves chemotherapy to knock out her faulty immune system, and then a transplant of these healthy stem cells taken from her bone marrow, which rebuilds her immune system. It's transformed her health. From being in a wheelchair during her worst relapse, she is now symptom-free.
It does feel like a miracle. Almost have to pinch myself and think, is this real? Is it really gone? Is it ever going to come back? I don't live in fear anymore, so I actually live every day the way that I want to live it, rather than around my MS.
Around 100,000 people in the UK have MS, which attacks the brain and spinal cord. In an international trial of around 100 patients, those who had a transplant not only experienced a reduction in their disability, they were 10 times less likely to see their treatment fail after 3 years compared to those who received drugs. The stem cell transplant involves a one-off cost of £30,000, no more expensive than the yearly cost of some drugs. It is a gruelling treatment and not suitable for all MS patients. But Sheffield's Royal Hallamshire Hospital, part of the international trial, said it was a game changer and it hoped many more MS patients would receive a transplant. Fergus Walsh, BBC News.
Well, let's talk about this a little bit more right now with Dr. Susan Colehouse, who's Director of Research at the MS Society, and Janet Boyce, who has MS. Morning, both. Thank you so much for coming in. I'll come to you in a minute, Janet, but just tell us a little bit about what they've found and how significant this is.
So this is a really impressive results for this study. They found that people with active MS, so highly active relapsing remitting MS who experience frequent attacks, responded really well to this treatment, and these are people who haven't responded to some of the treatments that are already out there. So it's really encouraging. It's great that in the near future this is likely to be a treatment that's available to people with MS on the NHS as a possible choice if you meet the criteria.
Janet, tell us a little bit about your diagnosis and how this has affected you.
Gosh, I was diagnosed really suddenly, out of the blue, in 2015. So at the time, I'm giving no secrets away, but I was 48, and it was just really sudden. I didn't know I had it. I had a huge relapse that put me in hospital, and that's when I was diagnosed within the space of a week. And then my life went from running my own business, working sort of 12, 14 hours a day every day, to just not being able to do anything at all. And that's pretty much been how it's gone. It's progressed really fast. So there's a disability scale. They measure your disability from 0 to 10, 0 being no disability, 10 being dead. And I went from 1 to 6.5 in the space of a year.
And you've had you have had stem cell therapy, haven't you? But not in this country.
Yeah, it's sorry to correct, but it's actually the transplant.
No, you correct
because it's actually. Yeah, I had it in Moscow last year in July. I could have had it on the NHS. However, I couldn't wait because I was progressing so quickly. I couldn't wait for it to be done in the UK, so I went to Moscow and had it done there. The chemotherapy is what does the job. They harvest your stem cells from your blood, give you chemotherapy, which is like an IT reboot. So they're going to switch off your immune system and switch it back on again. So the chemo switches it off, then you have the stem cells back after your body's rebooting, and the stem cells speed up the recovery, and the chemo is what kills the immune system first.
Ignorant question, is that the same treatment that will be available in this country now?
Yes,
if you're eligible for it.
So the issue has been it's not been routinely considered as a treatment in the UK. There are a few centres that can offer it on the NHS, but it's a very aggressive therapy. There are side effects that need to be considered. So it's great that it will soon be considered routinely, but still for people with very active, highly aggressive MS. And we would encourage people really to think about treatment options and how it fits with all of the therapies available.
And getting a diagnosis of MS can obviously be pretty devastating.
Absolutely. It's completely life-changing, because from being fit and well and living a life, then you suddenly have limitations which you didn't expect. And it affects, because it's your central nervous system, it affects everything, from mobility, which is obvious, to brain fog, fatigue, I mean, all manner of things, speech, swallowing, cognitive ability, the whole, all works. So it can affect absolutely every part of you.
And what was the difference between you before and after this treatment?
It's still slow. I'm about 8 months post-transplant now. So what I've noticed is with the first dose of chemotherapy, my brain fog lifted. So I'm much more with it. I can find my words more easily. If I'm tired, it comes back a little bit. But generally speaking, I'm more sort of alert and my cognitive skills are better.
Susan, so just to be clear, so for people who are watching us this morning, you're saying that this treatment, how soon might it be available?
So it's already available in some centres. It's not considered as it will be considered as a third line treatment over the next couple of months, really.
What does that mean, third line?
It means people who haven't responded to other treatments that are available. So it's a very aggressive treatment, and I think Janet and I were talking before the show, and it's quite tough to go through. And so I think
it is, but I would say that from the patient's perspective, I didn't get the treatment until I was at this massive level of disability. If I'd had it sooner, I wouldn't now be fighting the same disabilities, because it's designed to halt the progression of the disease. So if you halt it sooner, before you get disabled, then then you've got a better chance. So I'm now fighting disability that I already have existing.
So there's more to people. I mean, will the people who this would help, are they aware? Would they be aware of that? Or
I think that's. I mean, there's a lot of great information on our website. We're working with healthcare professionals around the UK. We're trying to encourage people with MS to be really informed about the treatment options so that they can go.
I found most of my information from Facebook groups. There's a very, very strong network of HSCT Facebook groups for the UK, for Russia, for Mexico, which all share and help each other, as well as the veterans group,
I mean,
which
you are
provides information.
Obviously incredibly well informed and also explain it really well. So thank you very much, Janet and Susan. Thank you both very much indeed.